Last week on the channel, we started a brand new account. We have a blank slate account here. We're starting to grind for Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout from square one. We're going to try to work our way up towards those two players. Try to guide you all if you're relatively new to the game, or if you're still pretty close to those players, in terms of trying to get the stubs and the players that you need to collect. Last week, we said we're going to complete all these Tops Now moments, and we have completed them all. We're going to open up all the packs. I'm going to show you guys which ones are the most usable and the best Tops Now players for your team that you can use right now. And we're going to build up this team, make a ton of upgrades, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do over this next week to keep on building the team. And yeah, let's get right into it. What's going on, YouTube? How are we doing today? I appreciate you all stopping by my channel. In case you don't know me, my name is Scann, and today we are back with more MLB The Show tips. But I appreciate you all stopping by. In case you have not already, if you want to learn more about MLB The Show 20 or MLB The Show in general, and being a No Money Spent player, just trying to get better in things like ranked seasons, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We're on our way to 1,000 subs, which is absolutely bonkers. We're getting closer, which is really crazy, and I appreciate all the support. And if you happen to learn something new and want to keep on seeing more of this series, make sure to hit that like button. I'm going to keep on going with the series throughout the rest of the year as long as you guys want to see it. So make sure you hit that like button so I know that you actually want to see more videos like this. Also, we do stream on Twitch, and we have been doing some of the grinding on here on the Twitch, so if you have not already, hit that follow button on the Twitch channel. Link will be down there below. We stream Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Saturdays. It's the best place to find us when you're not here on YouTube. So like we said before, we completed all these Tops Now moments, and I think we opened one pack. I think we opened this pack that you get in the last video, and then the one free pack that you get. So we're going to kind of go through the players that I chose and the ones that I think you should choose. There was a free pack the other week, which came with a couple Tops Now players, and they did this a couple times throughout the year. But this is the only choice pack I think they released for free in the market. So essentially, we got a bunch of free packs to open today, and I'm going to go through each of the packs and which ones I think you should choose. There was this pack that they gave out on the market for free. You also get this in the monthly programs. This is the pack from September 21st to 27th. But there are 4 players in here, but I got 2 of them for free by opening that pack. We chose Garrett Crochet here with his outlier fastball and his great changeup and slider. And then we chose Mark Canha for his positional eligibility plus the great swing that he has this year. These are the 2 players that we added to the team from this pack, but you could get this pack for free in the monthly awards program, which we will talk about again later. And then other than that, we have every other Tops Now pack to open. The 2 players who threw no hitters this year got free players on the market, so we won't be talking about them too much because they were given out over a span of a few days. Lucas G Alito and Alec Mills, these 99 overall pitchers, were given out for free, but you can pick them up in the market still if you do want to check them out. But personally, G Alito seems like a nice card. He seems like a viable starter. I've faced him a couple times and hit him pretty well, but his release is a little quirky. Also, he's got a pretty solid fastball, but again, not the greatest pitch mix. And then Alec Mills here just lacks velocity, and I don't think the control is going to play that well. The speed differentials on the fastball and sinker aren't great either. But again, not a bad starter card when you're first filling out your rotation, and for 11K, that's not bad at all. But again, we won't be talking about these guys too much because they were given out for free. We go into our Tops Now moments here, and these are the ones that we had completed for the last video. And let's go through the ones that we chose out of this first pack. Alright, so these are the choice pack contents in this pack. We have 6 players in here, and let's just break down the choices that we made. We chose his Byron Buxton because we were starting from square one. And at the very least, having a great defending center fielder with speed is very useful. Plus, Buxton has a kind of nice swing. Those attributes at the hitting side aren't that impressive, but they're more than good enough at a low level. And, you know, his swing is glitchy, like he said, so he could probably play above those a little bit. We also chose Brian Anderson for the high power. He has 125, 110 power. He can play basically anywhere in the infield and outfield, which is very nice when you're building a team because you can fill in the slots that you need by moving him to where you have a gap on the team. Plus, the 90 defense is going to be good enough at most positions. You'll have gold fielding or diamond if he's at third base. The contact isn't the biggest deal, especially if you're on all-star or veteran difficulty in ranked, because that's just the size of your PCI. And 8690 is going to be more than fine at those levels. Maybe more of a struggle on Hall of Fame difficulty though. We also chose Kyle Higashioka. I'm a Yankee fan, and I enjoy the power that he has in this card. Good defense as well. Again, the contact is a little low. He can only play catcher. And from what I've used of him, I haven't been the biggest fan of his swing, but this is just a personal preference thing. I used this Tyler Stevenson card in the event a ton, And even though he has worse defense, the offensive stats are very good. 107, 108 versus lefties, 93 contact, 92 power versus righties. His swing is very smooth, a great option at catcher as well. I would honestly choose him over Higgy. And then I would personally pass on his Brandon Nimmo, a righty crusher, not great defense. And then I would pass on Tanner Houck here, because again, he doesn't have a great pitch mix. 3 of the pitches are within 4 miles per hour of each other in a slider. And per nines aren't even that great. So this is the September 7th to September 13th pack. Let's go make our choices right now. I think there are 2 blatant choices here that will be the most beneficial on our team. First of all, Corbin Burns. This card I faced a couple times in ranked, and he's not the easiest to hit. He's got great hits and Ks per 9, good velocity and break. Also, the control is serviceable enough. But the big thing to note is the pitch selection. He has a sinker, cutter, changeup. It's a very nice pitch mix for this year. Playing those 3 pitches off each other is a big deal. Also, the slider is pretty solid along with the curveball. He's a good mix of pitches. If there's any downside to this card, it's that a lot of pitches are similar speeds. I mean, you're not going to have many pitchers with this pitch mix. Then I think we'll make our other selection here, Mike Clevenger. We'll get 2 high 90 overall pitchers in the rotation. Clevenger has more speed differentials. Again, he has a 4-seam and a cutter. This card is pretty similar to that Max Scherzer card, I think. If you guys know, obviously he's less overall. Again, he has great per 9s, not as good velocity as Corbin Burns, but has a lot of break. He has good speed differential between the cutter and the slider and the fastball. I think those 3 will be fun to mix off each other, and a slow curveball. So we're going to choose these 2, we'll bolster the rotation. And before we go over those, this Conforto card seems like a very nice card. Very good all-around hitting attributes, good defense as well. I just feel like we're going to get a ton of outfield option, and I don't want to limit myself to Conforto, but he's got a very nice swing, and this is a very good option for a starter outfield. Also, Jorge Alfaro, if he hadn't had a catcher selected, I would have potentially chose him because he's got good hitting attributes for both sides, gold fielding, and 76 speed at catcher is very nice. Aaron Nola is a pass for me just because, again, the pitch mix, fastball and sinker, which are basically the same speed, then changeup curveball. So he's going to basically be a pitcher that you sit fastball. If you start playing good players, this card won't be able to pitch well. So we're going to choose Clevenger and Burns. Get the rotation filled out. Next, we have August 31st to September 6th. I think my first choice is going to be a very obvious one. We got the 99 Trey Turner. This card is hella glitchy, and he has crushed me in ranked a bit. Trey Turner has a phenomenal swing. Also, this card has great speed and good defense. I don't think we have a great shortstop right now. We're going to work on shortstop a few times over these next couple weeks, because now our shortstop options are honestly endless. But Trey Turner is a little glitchy option, good fielding and his speed. Also, he's got center field as a secondary, so if Byron Buxton doesn't work out, we can move him out to center field, or even just use him as a pinch runner off the bench. Our second option is going to be the Franmil Reyes. If you look at this card, the thing that pops out are the hitting attributes. They're insane. He's a great, at least, bench bat versus both sides. He's got reverse splits as well, so he's going to be good versus righties and lefties. The defense, honestly, isn't great. 70 fielding isn't bad, but if you do use him in the outfield, I mean, 70 fielding could be worse. It could be worse. He'll at least have silver fielding out there, but honestly, this card we're using on the bench 100%. Then, I think our final choice is going to be Adam Duvall. Great power, 125, 115. Again, the contact a little low. But again, this card has positional eligibility and also has diamond fielding if you stick him out in left field. He's pretty good versus both sides at the plate. He could play first, third, and everywhere in the outfield, which again is very nice to have when you're building a team. And I kind of F with his swing. It's kind of a nice swing. The other option would have been Eugenio Suarez, but I've struggled with this card a bit this year. And we'll get some good infield options where we could pass him. But if you don't want to try him, I would try Eugenio Suarez here. Just don't play him at short, because the 31 speed at shortstop is going to be atrocious. So those are our 3 choices in this pack. So this is August 24th to August 30th. I'm going to go with my man Davey Garcia. I actually used him in a custom league game. I haven't used him too much, but I think he's actually a pretty solid pitcher. I like the fastball. He's got a little bit of a quirky release. The changeup, slider, curveball are nice breaking balls as well. Honestly, you don't need this card though. This card would only be a middle of the rotation starter at best. And I would suggest to potentially pass him, but Yankee bias, I'm going to choose the card that I like the most. And the second card we're going to choose is going to be this 97 Will Myers. This card is a slapper. A little low contact versus lefties, but other than that, this card is phenomenal. 85 fielding. Again, if you're sensing a theme of what we're choosing here, positional eligibility, and great power. That's kind of the theme of a lot of these Topps Now cards. If you can get some like solid defense, good power, and you could play them at multiple positions, it's a very nice thing to have when you're putting together a team. And Will Myers here is a nice card. I like his swing a bit from what I've used of him. And that power is going to be very nice. Again, on low difficulties and ranked, he's going to be a very good card with that high level of power. Not much warning track power. He'll hit a ton of nukes if you can get his swing on lock. So we'll choose him. And those will be our 2 from this pack. And honestly, from the other cards in that pack, I don't think any of them are going to be good enough to start. Eric Sogard is a little weak. Ahmed Rosario is very one-sided. So I think that's the right decision in the pack anyway. Now let's go to the August 17th to the 23rd. We're going to go for the 97 Jose Abreu. He's got good power. He plays first base, which we don't have any first baseman right now. He's got a pretty solid swing. I used him a bit in the one moment that he had where he had to hit a certain amount of extra base hits or homers with him. And I really loved his swing. A card that you don't see used much, but at first base, this is a great option to use right now. Again, high power. He's good for his lefties, and again, reverse splits with the power. The defense isn't great, but the hitting attributes make up for it. He'll be at first base 100% sure. And then our other option is going to be the 98 Kenta Maeda. He's got great pitch mix, fastball, sinker. Good speed differential on the slider and changeup. They're significantly slower than the fastball and sinker. And he has a slow curveball. Also, the hits and Ks per 9 are pretty damn good. Control is pretty solid. Again, not much velocity, but it's going to happen with a lot of these Topps Now cards. We'll choose Kenta as our other option. Just to also point out, Trent Grisham is a solid option. The only thing with him is that he's only good versus righties. He is a good bench bat if he does have those splits versus righties, though. Tristan Mckenzie is one I debated taking as well. But again, the pitch mix, he only has 4 pitches. And again, a couple of the pitches are very close in speed. Not in second kind of fastball, which I like to choose in a pitcher. He only has 1 4-seam fastball. We'll pass on this card. And then Dansby Swanson, like I said, we have a ton of shortstop options, so we're going to pass on him. So I'll take Kenta and Jose Abreu. Next week, August 10th to the 16th. This is going to be a fun one. This one, we got 3 choices, and I think I know who 2 of them are going to be. Our first choice is going to be the 98 Bo Bichette. This is one of the best Topps Now cards we got in the first place. A little bit of a weird swing. I had a tough time using it, but again, we got a shortstop option here. He can play second and third, which is why we avoided other players. The hitting attributes are all above 100. Not many of these players have that. Very good all-around card. Solid defender at shortstop. We're going for Bo. Our second option, Yordan Alvarez. Again, this card is going to be a bench bat. But again, hitting attributes all over 100. Alvarez has a great swing. We'll stick him on the bench along with Franmil Reyes. And they'll be our batters versus lefties and righties. You could choose Tomas Nido as a backup catcher for his good defense. Don't want to do that. I despise his swing. I sucked at doing his moment. Austin Hayes isn't a bad option, but again, not very impressive hitting attributes. Solid fielding, but not enough. The speed is really the selling point of this card. Travis Shaw is a nice bench bat versus righties. Also can play second base, so we have him as an option with goal defense. And then we also have my dude, Clint Frazier. 95 overall, pretty good hitting attributes, bad defense, so this could be another bench bat. We're going to choose Travis Shaw. We're going to ignore my Yankee bias this time around. And we'll choose Travis Shaw for a second bench bat and as an extra second base option. Right, next pack, August 3rd to 9th. So this one I'm feeling pretty confident about. We're going to choose 97 Sonny Gray here. Again, he's got a great pitch mix, fastball, sinker. Nice pitch combo to have. But again, he has a changeup and a slider along with that. And a 12-6 curve. A pretty good pitch mix. I mean, could have been better. But also the velocities aren't the biggest deal. They're all within like 10 miles per hour of each other. But I think Sonny Gray will be good enough for at least a back end of the rotation starter. Per 9s are there as well. Will definitely be my pick for this. Then I think we'll choose Mitch Moreland here. Very good attributes versus righties. 95, 120 power is very good. Not too bad versus lefties. At least he has the 94 power. Again, don't want to start this card. We could even potentially do a platoon option at first with him and Jose Abreu, but I don't think we'll do that. This will be a bench bat to use strictly versus righties for that 120 power. And then just looking at the other cards quickly, Dylan Bundy doesn't seem bad. Not much velocity on him though, and fastball 2-seam, not my favorite fastball combination. Cole Calhoun here, not a great defender. Not too impressive hitting attributes, which you would want out of a bench bat either. so won't be choosing him. And Steven Piscotty, I was debating choosing just for the outfield eligibility, and also the hitting attributes are a little better. I like his swing, but I'm gonna pass on him as well. We'll go with our 2 picks of Mitch Moreland and Sonny Gray. And then finally, the second to last week, July 7th to August 2nd. All right, I think I know what our 2 picks are gonna be. I'm feeling pretty good about these 2 picks. I have one other option I'm debating, but there are 3 real cards here that stick out from the rest, I think. Tyler Alexander here, lefty relief pitcher. We don't have like any relievers other than Crochet right now. There aren't many lefty relievers. This is a great option to fill your bullpen with. Again, the pitch mix isn't the best and the per-9s aren't the best, but he kind of plays solid. He's not the worst reliever, but also not the best. He's a bullpen option now, so we will take him, I think. Then, I think we're going to take Mikey Stremski. We don't have another good outfield option right now. I love his swing so far this year. Very consistent versus both sides. All the attributes are above 90. Also, he has 85 fielding when you stick him out in right field, which is more than good enough to play out in the outfield. 56 speed could be worse as well for an outfielder. We're going to choose him. Also, this Edwin Rios is a great option. He has great power versus both sides, crushes righties. We just have some righty crushers on the bench right now. We're going to pass on him. Travis d'Arnaud, we're passing out on this card because there's another d'Arnaud in the postseason program, which we're going to talk about later on. And he also isn't the best for me whenever I've used him. And Shane Bieber, 97 overall pitcher, but the speed differentials are even worse than Sonny Gray's. The fastball is 93, and his slowest pitch is 83. And he doesn't even have a sinker. He has a fastball, cutter, slider. The cutter and slider are very close in speed, and the slider and the knuckle curve are very close in speed. This card would be an easy pass for me. If they come out with a better Bieber, I hope they increase those differentials because... So here we go. We'll choose Alexander and Yastrzemski. Now on the final pack. This is the opening weekend pack. We're going to choose the 93 Zack Wheeler. One thing this card has that other ones don't is velocity and speed differentials. The fastballs are in the high 90s. He's got a solid slider above 90. Changeup at 87 and a curveball at the low 80s. There's actually a fair difference in between most of those pitches. Yeah, the fastballs aren't the best, and I would normally pass this, but for a back end of the rotation pitcher, we could get some people with velocity who are lower in ranked. I would go for this card in terms of a starting pitcher over this Kyle Hendricks, who has no velocity at all, and very slow pitches, which would get absolutely rocked. Then the second pick is an interesting choice. I'm going to go for G-Man Choi for the switch hitting option off the bench. This could be a second first base option if you happen to not like them. But this is a great bench option because you could have him come in as a pinch hitter. And no matter who they put in on the mound, he'll be good versus both sides. Also, the hitting attributes for this time of the year that he came out were pretty good. Pretty solid card. We're going to go for him. Another viable option was this Marcelo Zuna card. I only didn't choose him because we have a bunch of righty bats. So I want to get G-Man Choi in there. And Ozuna is a nice card, though. I enjoyed this card a little bit when I used him. If you didn't choose a righty bat beforehand, I would get this card. And also, Enrique Hernandez. Little weak versus righties. Solid defense, though, and great positional eligibility, which is something you may want on your bench as well. I would rather choose G-Man Choi, though. So there we go. Those were all of our tops now cards and my choices behind them. I think that's a pretty good general discussion of what I think the best ones are. Obviously, the ones that we picked we think are the best options. I think we did a good summary of who I think you should pick. And now let's talk about our plans for the next week and what we're going to be doing. First of all, we're going to be doing the postseason moments. We're going to be gradually doing these throughout the week. They're going to be getting new set of moments this week, I think, with the CS being done, with the championship series being done. Probably get a couple new players to add to the team. That'll be definitely starter worthy. And also, we'll be doing these packs, summarizing who we want to use. Obviously, there's some great players in this program who I'm going to be starting. And then these tops now guys will be moving to the bench as we go. Also be able to help out, fill out the bullpen with a ton of these players. Also this week, we're going to be doing the monthly programs, I think. I'm going to at least try to do the September and August ones. We definitely want to at least get Tatis and J-Ram. We want to get those monthly programs done so we can get more players. That's why we did these Tops Now moments, so we can contribute those to our monthly awards. So we're going to do at least these monthly programs, hopefully. We'll get a bunch of new starters on the squad like Jose Ramirez, Adalberto Mondesi. Will Smith might even be a starter. And then in the August moments, we'll probably get a guy like Fernando Tatis Jr. starting on the squad, Jesse Winker off the bench, Luke Voigt might even start. So these programs are very easy to do. We'll bang these out to help fill out the team. But if you look at this team right now, I mean, it could be worse. We could hop into a ranked game and probably win with this team without much of an issue. And we just did top sound moments. That's such a small segment of the game we have done. This is going to help us with the monthly moments. And we're going to also get more division players. We're going to get more postseason players. And then also we're going to start doing some of these player programs. So we're going to try to at least get Joey Votto, Jim Edmonds, Cal Ripken, Anthony Rendon, John Lester. So we can start getting options on our team. We're going to try to just bolster this team with more good players that play well this year. Obviously, we're weak in the bullpen, so we'll be focusing on filling that out as well. But to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with how good this team is just by completing these moments. And we're going to be getting more packs out of the monthly moments, so we can get even more players to use. But yeah, there's episode 2. Hopefully, we went through the player options well enough for you all. Hopefully, you got some good options to fill out the team that you guys are running. And these players are very good to use in ranked. I mean, some players might struggle a little more just because they have weird swings. That's what happens with top now players. But overall, this team is a great team. All these players are high overalls. And a 96 overall team in the short amount of time we played is pretty damn impressive. So if you want to keep up with the grind, make sure to subscribe down below. I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all in the next video, alright? Deuces. Like, what are, like, the selling points of it? Also, you know we're bringing up Gleybe. Frank Thomas makes the most sense, but Gleybe's getting a swing here, chat. With the lead here, I'm giving Gleybe an at-bat again. Yeah, what's up, JT? Let's go, baby. That's the World Series. Ha ha! Gleybe! There it is. There's the World Series, bread. Let's go, baby.